Shalom, it's a big back with another edification. I thank all of my subscribers. I want to wish all of my subscribers high health and high spirits. I want to wish all of my subscribers are safe and protected against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines, here in America. America, home of sin and the home of the wicked. One of the empires of the Edomites, so-called white race, built this place off blood, the blood of the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latino, Native American, Indians. Here on the screen, these devils have done a lot. Their countries and their culture is violence, scams, lies, deception, and pretty much are the chosen race for Satan. And the God of this world currently is Satan. And Esau, Edom, they're full of characters that continue this huge episode of Scooby-Doo. As a veteran, a U.S. Marine, I want to be thankful for seeing the truth of the world under the rulership of Esau, Edom, and their puppets continuously scamming and going after the money grabs with Amalek, the Israelis. And it's just a beautiful thing for me to witness the lies and also witness the truth at the same time. You so-called whites have inherited lies by your so-called leaders, which are proud to deceive and profit off of deception. That's their secret society. Look at them. They look like they know something that everyone else doesn't. And the truth is, we're getting close to the end of Babylon the Great, America, this Roman Empire that's built on lies and deception. On one hand, there's the truth, and then on the other, there's the lie. And common folk in America have been deceived through mainstream media and overseas media tells the truth of what's actually taking place in the world. And America, these elites or these politicians, they continue to thrive off of the lies and the scams and the deception. You so-called whites have done a lot, and I'm referring to the colonialism of America. And your school systems don't even teach the truth anymore. And the school systems don't even teach the actual history the correct way like they used to when I was growing up in the 80s. And the damage that Esau Edom has committed with his birthright, and the world as a collective, the other races of the world have pretty much are pretty much fed up with Esau Edom. Even the tribes of Esau Edom are taking turns not participating um, in the prophetic end of America. They're trying to take turns backing away from inching closer and closer to the end of their empires. And I mean this, the other tribes of Esau Edom being Spain and Britain and France and Germany and all of them. I've seen enough, like I've had enough rather, not I've seen enough, but I've had enough of Esau Edom and all of the folly that comes with Esau Edom. His empire has been, quite frankly, full of shit. And he's such a proud, wicked, violent man. And the so-called white race they're wicked themselves. The average American believes what mainstream media says. And their news outlets, America's news outlets, are so biased that the people will never realize what the actual truth is based on mainstream media and their deception. Even Trump lied about the body count of the fallen soldiers that were deployed with Operation Fury. I'm looking at one big episode of Scooby-Doo here in America, behind enemy lines. The media overseas and the analysts of the world overseas have their ears to the war, and coverage comes from overseas that is more trustworthy. America is setting their citizens up for destruction through their religions and the banking systems and their politicians. They're all in on the lie. They're all in cahoots with this lie. And me, I'm thankful that Yahweh, which is the God of the so-called blacks, Latino, Native American Indians, and the creator of the heavens and the earth, I'm thankful that he allowed me to see and have this discernment regarding who's who and what's actually taking place here. I only have one verse. It says, whereas Edom, this is Malachi 1:4, says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord Yahweh have indignation forever. And some Americans, I'm going to say the majority of Americans would love for Trump to stop the violence and to make America great. The average citizen wants America to survive forever. And they're going to be highly disappointed by the God of Israel and the angels of heaven. Average veteran is a white supremacist that biasly roots for the American empire to continually to be a threat towards the other kingdoms of the world. But Esau is fulfilling his prophecy, as far as his prophecy as far as being wicked. And the other nations are, quite frankly, tired of Esau Edom. They're being exposed by other nations that can see them for who they are. They're Esau Edom, the so-called white race, and their rainbow coalition of followers that support the deception in order to receive a check, right? They get paid to lie, and their secret is that the people don't realize what's really going on. They've destroyed families. They've poisoned the essentials, and there's chemicals and everything. And social media has ruined, further ruined, so many individuals here in America behind enemy lines. Mainstream media news here in America is saying that they have defeated Iran, or they're making threats as far as if Iran does not call a ceasefire or come up with an agreement, Trump is pretty much setting himself up for failure. But me personally, as a Hebrew Israelite, I like Trump because he's destroying America. Like I said, majority of Americans are white supremacists, and they really want to see America thrive forever. But America has to come to an end. And I didn't vote because voting is a sin for Israelites. But I'm very excited to see this guy destroy America. America has to be destroyed, and it has to come to an end. The females over here are foolish. The females and the women in the kingdom will be much better suited for marriage, and they'll actually serve their purpose instead of being super duper foolish over here like they are. I mean, these women are just airheads, and social media has further allowed these women to destroy themselves further. They're such a nuisance. The American female is such a damn nuisance. Just look at her. Just check it out.
See her cry? Look. Right. You're making them cry.
I mean, the children are suffering. I mean, I'm not even going to share my anecdotal experience here recently, but I don't even know the words to speak that describes how beyond angry I am with America and Edomites and the types of people that America produces, and the lack of spirit, that America doesn't possess, as well as the people. I'm sure there's men out here that have had children by these reckless females,
You see that? You see that?
and she's so okay with being a crash out and being useless and not being able to really perform as a woman. So everywhere everywhere I look in America, America's being destroyed. The essentials, you know, and just just the idea of having a family is so full of it.
This is what I deal with. You see that?
This is normal behavior for the so-called black woman or the so-called black female, the daughter of Babylon, not the daughters of Zion, but the daughters of Babylon. They've pretty much found themselves in their own rulership, sharing the rulership with Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness. We call the so-called black woman Eve, and she has gotten way too comfortable with being in sin.
Right. You throwing stuff at her?
The children don't stand a chance, and you know nobody stands a chance without Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah.
Ooh-wee. Y'all see that, right? That ain't me. I still got my video that I was right.
She's such a damn crash out. I mean, I've had enough of America and Esau, Edom, and those who support it. The war is looking like Babylon will be destroyed. It says, "Welcome to hell," and that's a beautiful greeting by Iran. They are blessed, and for the most part, Americans believe that America has the strongest military on the planet. Well, that military will be challenged, and with all the sin here in America, it's not enough testosterone to go around for the military to win either. Even though it's scheduled and destined and prophesied by the scriptures that America will be destroyed with nuclear fire. It says, "Welcome to hell. Iran vows U.S. troops will leave in coffins as 3,500 Marines arrive. Rubio predicts war ends in weeks, not months." Well, this is a dangerous game, and the average American or the average soldier is a Christian, and this is why American politics use the Messiah as a holy war waged against the Iranians. But the Iranians are fulfilling a biblical code that they have. All right, they don't mind being martyred. So these politicians that are partnered with with Israel rather, they want these Christians to pretty much fight the wars for Israel, and that's going to lead to a lot of deaths, of course. Whoever goes to Iran will not be coming back. They keep talking about coffins, but they will not be coming back, whoever goes over there. Average black sellout or the average black Latino Native American man, woman, or child that does not understand the truth or that's not subscribed to the truth rather, will disagree with me, and they'll say things like, "Well, you're a veteran, how could you say that America's going to lose?" Well, it's prophesied that America's going to lose. I mean, you got China and North Korea and Russia standing there watching the entire war unfold over there. It says U.S. sailor and Marine aboard U.S. Tripoli arrived in the U.S. Central Command area responsibly. March Command area of the responsibility. March 27th. The American class amphibious assault Salakia serves as the flagship for the Tripoli Amphibious Ready Group, 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, composed of about, well, it's not going to show me actually. Let me see. I'm not logging in now. Well, they have a MEU, a Marine Corps MEU, which is like not a lot of troops, but it's just a quick reaction team that he's trying to keep near that area, or put near that area rather. But they're not coming back. Whoever goes over there is not coming back. Esau Edom has done a lot, and as far as the scripture go, Esau Edom is being accused of deceiving the world, being wicked, and for his crimes against Jacob. And this is not the end of it. We'll see. Still have to go through Jacob's trouble. It's coming. But the so-called white race is the border of wickedness, and they are Esau Edom. They're continuously lying through their mainstream media. I mean, America's pretty much done. There's really nothing else going on here but social media and a lot of folly. So, with that said, I want to say Shalom. I want to thank all of my subscribers, and I want to wish all of my subscribers high health and high spirits. And I want to wish all of my subscribers are safe and protected against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines. I'm going to read this one more time. They shall build, Salakia, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever. So you so-called whites, y'all better live it up, because you all have inherited lies, and for far too long, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians amongst the hopeful elect has been prophesying against America and pretty much standing by for the downfall of Esau Edom. And it's going to be great and terrible, but it's going to be great. There's so much more that I can't discuss right now, but hopefully somebody's been edified about who Esau Edom is, the so-called white man, woman, and child. America is conducting one big episode of Scooby-Doo. Shalom.